What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventurer 1994 here, and it is Thursday, September 29th, 2022. And I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record all week with these warning videos regarding Hurricane Ian, but the impacts are still here, guys. So, what we have on Hurricane Ian right now is that it's going back into the ocean as a very strong tropical storm. It's going back into the ocean, leaving the east coast of Florida. And this thing is expected to turn back into a hurricane once it's over the water. And then it's expected to make a second landfall in South Carolina or northern Georgia as a hurricane. Yeah, so this thing is turning back into a hurricane once it's in the water. And is expected to make landfall in South Carolina and Georgia. So this is a pretty serious situation right here. Yeah, going back into the water like that's not good. This shows you that the hurricane's expected to restrengthen once it's back in the water. And it's already showing that by turning back into a hurricane. So I hope everybody in South Carolina and Georgia were preparing for this thing in advance. I don't want you guys to be one of those people that are panic shopping and getting everything you need last minute. I hope everybody was preparing in advance. I mean, when a storm comes to my area, I make sure I'm prepared like way in advance. And I hope you guys are doing that. Because that's like the smartest thing to do, even if you're not in danger like a week in advance. It's always smart to prepare for this thing like even in a week in advance before the actual event happens. Or even if it doesn't affect you guys, it's still smart to prepare if it's like very close to your state. Yeah. Charleston's supposed to get hit pretty bad with this thing. Yeah, Charleston expected to see some impacts since it's on a coastal area. Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of impacts in Charleston when this thing makes landfall. I'm expecting some damage over there since it's in a coastal area. It's a coastal city where they're exposed to hurricanes and stuff. Yeah, and believe it or not, Angry Grandpa's family lives in Charleston. I bet Angry Grandpa will be freaking out right now. But I feel sorry for Angry Grandpa's family who's about to go through this thing tomorrow. And I hope Michael and Bridget are preparing for impacts like right now. And I have an uncle that's in South Carolina. He is my Yankee fan grandfather's brother. And he's in South Carolina and he's supposed to see this thing too. So this is a pretty serious situation right here. Yeah, make sure you have everything you need before the worst case scenario shows up. Like, I hope you guys are prepared for this hurricane. If you live in South Carolina or Georgia or even North Carolina or Tennessee or anywhere near there, I hope everybody over there is prepared for this thing. I know there's some people down there that are panic shopping and everything, but there's some people that didn't know that didn't know this was gonna happen. And now that this thing is expected to make landfall as a hurricane on South Carolina, that's why a hurricane warning is out for South Carolina. It's the East Coast. So since South Carolina is expected to see a landfalling hurricane, that's why a hurricane warning is over the coastal areas of South Carolina. It's expected to get crazy, and in eastern Georgia and eastern Florida still has tropical storm warnings out. Since Ian's still a tropical storm at the moment, once leaving Florida, but it's expected to turn back into a hurricane when making landfall. So that's why South Carolina has hurricane warnings out. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy in South Carolina. Charleston's supposed to see some bad impacts from this thing. Yeah, Hurricane Ian did a lot to Cuba and Florida. There's a lot of houses that got destroyed, a lot of homes are flooded, a lot of power outages are reported. There's like over 2 million power outages in Florida right now in the storm's path. And Disney and Universal and all those other theme parks are still closed right now, because the storm is not fully out yet. They're trying to make sure that the storm gets far away from Florida as possible before they reopen everything. Yeah, and there's a lot of flooding in Florida right now. And a lot of cars are buried in the floods too. So this is a very serious situation right here. This thing made landfall in Florida as a very strong hurricane. It was a major hurricane at landfall. It was either a Cat 4 or a Cat 5. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And then after it makes landfall in South Carolina, it will weaken back into a tropical storm, and then it will become its remnants. If New York City sees anything, or Long Island, I think we're gonna get like a rainfall, a decent amount of rain over here in its remnants. Yeah, I'm expecting heavy rain if we see the remnants of this thing. And maybe the 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gust. So I guess that's it. I hope Angry Grandpa's family and everyone in South Carolina and Georgia, North Carolina, and all those other states are on high alert for this thing. I hope everybody's on high alert. And I hope everybody is prepared over there. So, and I hope my uncle gets through this okay. I hope my uncle stays safe down there too. And I guess that's it. Bye.